Hillary Clinton was surrounded by women the moment she lost the 2016 presidential election. Things had been going too well for too long when, on the morning of October 28, her spokeswoman Jennifer Palmieri approached her and longtime aide Huma Abedin and said two words, "Jim Comey." "I immediately knew it was bad," Clinton writes in her memoir What Happened. There was a moment of mournful sisterhood as Abedin learned that the FBI was probing her husband Anthony Weiner's computer, ensuring that the final week of the election was going to be about Clinton's email server. "This man is going to be the death of me," Abedin said of Weiner. Clinton gave her a hug. Hillary Rodham Clinton, the first female presidential nominee of a major party, defeated by a man who even Republicans called a sexist, is, as she points out in the book, the frequent answer to Gallup's question of who is most admired woman in America. Nonetheless, she was unable to break the presidential glass ceiling, and her defeat has been genuinely traumatizing for millions of women. Locked out of the White House, she offered solidarity with Senator Elizabeth Warren, Mass, and other women who are called shrill, or unlikable, because they want to climb the same ladder as men. "I wish so badly we were a country where a candidate who said, 'My story is the story of a life shaped by and devoted to the movement for women's liberation' would be cheered, not jeered," she writes. But that's not who we are. Her book finally takes on directly what has been muttered for years, that Clinton was often treated poorly simply because she was a woman. "It will be up to some other woman to carry on the battle," Clinton writes. She's done with politics. Much of what happened is a meditation on powerful women, a test run for the speeches Clinton will give for the rest of her life. "I've seen women CEOs serve coffee at meetings," she writes, "women heads of state walk tissues over to a sneezing staffer." But still Clinton cannot let that Comey moment go. She quotes Fox News clips, legal analysis and congressional testimony to conclude that she was wronged. She takes subtle pleasure in Comey being fired by Donald Trump 6 months later. She apologizes to the reader, who has to relive all of this. "It wasn't healthy or productive," she writes, "to dwell on the ways I felt I'd been shivved." It's the perfect word, shivved. The Hillary Clinton of this bitter memoir resembles a shrunken, beaten Richard Nixon who told David Frost that he gave his enemies a sword and they twisted it with relish. Again and again she blames herself for losing, apologizing for her dumb email management, for giving paid speeches to banks, for saying she'd put coal miners out of business. She veers between regret and righteous anger, sometimes in the same paragraph. "I regret handing Trump a political gift with my deplorables comment," she writes. Then she lays out studies on voter biases from the University of Chicago and the Voter Study Group. Datum asked, Clinton clarifies, "Too many of Trump's core supporters do hold views that I find, there's no other word for it, deplorable." What Happened is the raw and bracing book, a guide to our political arena. Clinton, who came within less than 100,000 votes of the White House, recalls how friends urged her to take Xanax, she declined, how there are times when all I want to do is scream into a pillow, and how she had to restrain herself at snapping at a young woman who tells her after the election that she didn't vote. "Now you want me to make you feel better?" Democrats who once begged her to run for president now squirm when they're asked about her. Clinton no longer cares. Exiled to her home in Chappaqua, New York, she is liberated from the public eye and dismissive of the media which, in her view, maintains one rule book for every other candidate and an Necronomicon for her. "Why am I seen as such a divisive figure and, say, Joe Biden and John Kerry aren't?" she asks. "They've cast votes of all kinds, including some they regret, just like me. What makes me such a lightning rod for fury? I'm really asking. I'm at a loss. There has never been a candidate memoir like this, but there has never been a defeated contender like Hillary Clinton. Since at least 1999, when she leapt into the race for one of New York's open Senate seats, the idea of a second President Clinton had loomed in our national consciousness. In 2004, superfans tried to draft her into the presidential race. In 2011, pollster Pat Cattell argued that Hillary moment had come, and that Clinton could step above partisan politics if Barack Obama stepped aside. It didn't happen. The book is also sometimes corny, with quotes from Hamilton and details about the hot sauce she carries everywhere, Ninja Squirrel Sriracha, suggesting that the Clinton who told young voters to Pokemon Go to the polls really meant it. The aphorism "what does not kill us makes us stronger"